ongoing neighborhood complaints regarding the Royal Inn here behind me. This hotel has been seized and it is closed. Fencing and boarding is being added and security will be installed. This hotel has long been a significant concern for me and the surrounding communities and neighbors, with issues escalating for years. As a mom of two young boys and as someone that grew up in a similar community, as your council member, this was something that I was not going to accept. So I am very appreciative of the team that came together to put a stop to this. Since 2022, my office and members of the community have prioritized addressing the problems associated with the Royal Inn, including prostitution, drug dealing, and rising crime. In February of 2022, at my urging and coordinating with my office, the community established the Berkeley Square Neighborhood Association specifically to tackle these serious concerns. The association met over 20 times over the past few years, and my office and I have been grateful to have worked closely with the association on several initiatives aimed at stopping the criminal activity at the Royal Inn and in the surrounding community. So huge kudos to Maribel, who could not be with us this morning, but to all of the neighbors that were courageous to continue to report. Thank you guys so much for all of your hard work. In collaboration with key stakeholders, including the City of Phoenix Police Department, thank you guys all so much. The City of Phoenix Human Exploitation and Trafficking Unit, HEAT Unit, the Berkeley Square Neighborhood Association, the Rancho Solano Block Watch, and the VIP Coalition, and the Alhambra Traditional School, and everyone at the Alhambra School District. Thank you guys so much for your support. Together, we implemented very strategic measures to combat criminal activity in the area, including the 27th Avenue Community Safety Plan, which the council dedicated $5.7 million to. These efforts included working closely with local associations and block watches to introduce initiatives such as the Gated Alley Program, Prone to Crime, community cleanups, and adding traffic calming devices to reduce speeding and much more. This area was also being monitored by the newly opened Cactus Park Police Precinct Real-Time Operations Center. No matter the measure, the closure of the Royal Inn has been the critical piece missing from our strategy to restore safety into our neighborhood. The community has long called for action against this property owner who has allowed criminal activities to thrive on his premises. And today their calls have been answered and the crime at Royal Inn will stop immediately. I would like to thank the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. We are also incredibly grateful for the support from the City of Phoenix Police Department, and I would like to thank everyone at the Cactus Park Police Precinct, Commander Jeff Benza, Commander Steve Martos from the HEAT Unit, Commander Lawrence Hines from Cactus Park Precinct, and Lieutenant Scott Kane, also from Cactus Park Precinct. These officers in the precinct have been instrumental in this endeavor and have worked tirelessly with communities to stop crime in the area and helped lead this effort. I want to thank the community for their patience, for believing in us, for having hope that we would bring resolution to this awful problem that we've been talking about for the last couple of years. Their commitment, alongside that of community leaders here and organizations, has been instrumental in moving us forward, safer living conditions for all of our residents. And I just want to thank everyone for being here today. And now I'm going to hand it over to Commander Martos to talk a little bit more about what happened yesterday. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Steve Martos, M-A-R-T-O-S. I'm a commander with the Phoenix Police Department. The building that you see behind us is a result of an almost 2-year investigation. Almost 2 years ago, our officers from this particular neighborhood began responding to numerous calls for service at this particular hotel. It started off with a lot of calls for service where they were responding, making arrests, At some point during that initial phase of the investigation, they asked for some undercover assistance from my bureau. We realized quickly that no matter the number of arrests that were occurring out of here, that was not going to fix the problem. And once our undercover detectives began to operate and conduct their investigation, they started realizing that there was much more about this location that was occurring than what we saw at the surface. The detectives were able to tie prostitution and drug activity to this particular location and realized that management was allowing it to occur, and quite frankly, the ownership was allowing it to occur. They were earning proceeds, getting paid in cash for renting out rooms for this criminal activity to occur. Our detectives, I give them a lot of credit, because once you introduce that element of an undercover work and you literally put them into the lion's den where criminal activity is in that environment, it is dangerous for them. It's certainly dangerous for the area. So they did an incredible job in conducting this investigation. As we spoke yesterday about this particular location, the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI partnered with us. And again, this is a result of what has happened over the course of the last 2 years. We have this particular location, the hotel, which is being seized. There are properties out of state which are also being seized, and other properties that are being seized based upon the investigation and how proceeds were being used by the owner and management of this particular location. So today, what you see is not just this building that is being boarded up behind us, but this morning you likely would have seen children walking to school about a block away without fear or intimidation of the criminal activity that was occurring here. You see a lot of neighbors, residents in this area who are here. They're out here where they would not have likely been here 2 days ago because of the activity that was occurring here. It was too dangerous. And yet you see them here now. You see them here because it was a community that came together, a community that realizes the more you're engaged in your neighborhood, the more can be accomplished. And I'll just leave you with this, is that together, all of us partnering together, we can accomplish anything. So with that, Lieutenant Kane.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Scott Kane. I'm the Resource Lieutenant here at Cactus Park Precinct. Want to jump back to 2022, as Councilwoman Guardado referred to, and the creation of the Berkeley Square Block Watch. Initially, that Block Watch was brought together due to some of the concerns that were arising out of this hotel. That Block Watch, working with the Councilwoman's office and our community action team, specifically Officer Caleb Ziegler here, were able to relay the information the community was receiving, and we were able to get that information to the Human Exploitation and Trafficking Unit to help further their investigation. We sincerely appreciate all of the help and support provided from the community, and we thank Councilwoman Guardado and our community action team for all the work they've done to help make this possible. I'd like to kick it over to Jeff Spellman, who is part of the Violence Impact Coalition.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kane. I really appreciate it. I'm Jeff Spellman with the Violence Impact Project Coalition. We represent neighborhood groups and organizations all along the 27th Avenue corridor from Dunlap down to Osborne Road. And we've been working back since around 2015, 2016 to address some of the crime and blight along the 27th Avenue corridor. But it's not just our goal to get rid of the crime, it's about trying to redevelop, revitalize the 27th Avenue corridor as more of a strategy, a long-term strategy. So our goal and our vision is for an active, safe, and welcoming community with vibrant retail and sustainable housing. And in order to get that, we've got to get rid of problems like this. So we're working to reduce crime, especially drug dealing and prostitution, while we plan for redevelopment of the 27th Avenue corridor as our long-term strategy to change how 27th Avenue is viewed. The Royal Inn has long been a known source of harboring criminal activity. Children going to school at Alhambra Traditional School right down the street have been faced with scene crime on a daily basis. Our councilwoman worked with neighbors in establishing the Berkeley Square Neighborhood Block Watch. That was key to getting the resources we need to address these problems. The councilwoman educated neighbors on how to have their voices heard, and this is evidence that it is working. The seizure of the Royal Inn is a perfect example of what can be done when neighbors get involved and work with our government leaders. We're also hopeful that this sends a strong message to other businesses in the 27th Avenue corridor that our community will not tolerate crime. Congratulations and thank you to the Phoenix Police Department, the FBI for your collaboration in shutting down this hornet's nest of criminal activity. Thank you.
So with that, I just want to thank everyone for being with us today. You know, this has been, like I said, long overdue. We've been working on this for a couple of years, but this will conclude our press conference, and we will take interviews after this has concluded for any other questions that we might have to answer. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today. Thank you.